in the Mother Lode with Sarah
and Sarah.
We're back again. Our third week, you guys. We've been here for 3 weeks.
I still can't believe it. It seems like it's going by so fast, especially with like the end of March coming up.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
I don't know. I
crazy.
can't believe it. And then we had the first day of spring yesterday, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was
So we're
sometime
on Saturday.
this week.
Yeah, it was first week of spring. It's not, so speaking of that, you know, everything blooming.
Everything is blooming.
And,
oh yeah,
beautiful.
The poppies are coming out, the daffodils, the little purple flowers, which I have no idea what they're called because I'm not a plant person.
The purple, yeah.
I'm like, the irises.
Irises,
That's it.
yes.
Irises. It's the irises. That's the plant, the little flower.
That works. Yes, it's one of them.
So you probably have seen, as you've been driving around, all the wildflowers coming out. So make sure, we'll touch on that a little bit later in the show, but make sure you keep that in mind. And we are still in International Women's Month.
Yep, through March.
Through March. So I found one more not so international woman to talk to you guys about this week. Kind of not Californian though.
Okay.
So
Still.
you know, another woman who came out to the Mother Lode, but she has a little bit of a different story. Like Madame Pantalones, everybody knew she was a woman, even though she wore men's attire, right? And then Madame Felix. From Valley Springs, everybody knew she was a woman, but this time, nobody knew this woman was a woman.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a little Shakespearean.
Little Shakespearean right there. So, her name was actually, there's actually quite a few I wanted to touch on. There's quite a few women who posed as men because it opened up more opportunity for them.
For sure.
Back in the Middle Ages, in fact, there is some evidence that there was a female pope.
Really?
At
I
one
didn't know
time.
this. That's
yeah,
fascinating.
they called her Pope Joan. I don't know what her actual male name was, but apparently she was the Pope for maybe about a year or two before they found out that she was not
that
a
is
man.
Intriguing.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yes.
And imagine, imagine the punishment of finding out.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I would not want to live back then.
No. So, actually, her name was, wait a minute, there's another woman too, Deborah Sampson. Sorry, I'm getting my ladies mixed up.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's another woman, Deborah Sampson, who in the Civil War, the American Civil War, posed as a man to be able to fight.
Well, good for her.
Yeah,
Good
so
for her.
so
that
anyway.
reminds me of like a
the
Mulan.
American Revolution. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. But the woman I wanted to talk to you about today, her name was actually, what she became known as was Charlie Parkhurst.
Okay.
And she actually came from New Hampshire, and she lived in an orphanage / workhouse for years and years. And she decided at about 12 years old that there were more opportunities for men, for boys, than women. And she could pass for a boy at that point.
Especially at that
age.
Wow.
And so she started working in the stables. And she changed her original name was Charlotte. She changed her name to Charlie. And she was Charlie all the way through from then on. She came out, she actually came out west just over, probably just a little bit after the gold rush, and came out, and she was a stable driver. She was a, I believe, well, actually she was 40 when she came out west, but she ended up driving stagecoaches. So on the main line from Sacramento to back east, she was the stagecoach driver.
That was dangerous.
Which was super dangerous.
Let alone for a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
But a man too, like, I mean,
because
that was
you
no
could
joke.
be held up, and it was, I mean, that's a whole Black Bart thing going on there, which we won't even talk about, but she stayed here, actually. She stayed in California, and she ended up settling in the Santa Cruz area.
Oh, nice.
So they actually, I forget which town it is, But they actually, one of the post office in that area, they have a mural of her
that's
painted
neat.
on the inside of the building, which is pretty wonderful. Yeah.
How did she reveal that she was a woman?
She never did.
So how did we find out about it?
She never did.
When she passed away?
She carried the reasons to her grave. So there was a woman who actually, a woman in Tuolumne County, who wrote a book that was based on Charlie Parkhurst. And that was Linda Clark. And she, if you ever get a chance to see her perform, she actually takes on the character of Charlie Parkhurst.
That's really cool.
And she answers all the questions, and she's just amazing. And the book is great, too. It's called Hard Luck Lynn.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, but she was actually on the list of those that voted in Santa Cruz County during the election of Ulysses S. Grant, because only men could vote.
Yeah,
right?
She had changed that for herself.
Exactly. And that was like 50 years apparently before women actually got the right to vote. She voted as a man. So she had an absolutely fascinating life. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially to hold that secret. Not by choice, but because that's the only way to survive. I mean, especially being raised as an orphan and not having a family support system. I mean, what else was she supposed to do?
Exactly. If as a woman, I hate to say it, but if you were not attractive enough to end up with a husband
or with a wealthy
family, you had to make your own way. And she actually ended up buying property, which you couldn't do back in those days either. And part of her story is she befriended a woman who was widowed, who was raising her son, and that she had, Charlie Parkhurst had 2 cottages on her property, and she invited the woman to live in the other cottage, and she took care of her for the rest of her life. And then
talk about a big
everything
heart.
to her and her son. So it's
because I imagine she would have seen. I mean, being a single mom.
Yeah, and you would think something was going on.
Yeah, maybe, but at the same time.
But back then, it was very common, I think, that people would take other people onto their property. They'd live on cottages or other buildings or some stable hands. Obviously, they lived in the stables.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't look too closely at them, and if someone presented as a man and they seemed like a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, talk about life.
So
that's crazy. She took it to the grave, though. That's mind-boggling
she never revealed it to anybody.
Wow. Well, she couldn't
at all.
Because if that would have came out, her life would have
lost
been ruined.
Everything
she worked for. When did she pass away? How old was she?
Let me see. I'm not sure if I wrote that down. She died in 1878, just a couple days after Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my story is a little wrong. What she did is when she met the woman, she said, hearing of a woman in the area, the Santa Cruz, San Jose area, who was going to lose her farm to the bank, which would have forced her and her children onto the streets. I do know that she had a son, though. Charlie took her life savings and paid the woman's farm off and gave it back to her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me have
live on a
shivers.
cottage on the property, but and it was only just to help her out.
That's crazy. Yeah, because what else would she have been able to do? The woman with the children. There's nothing else
you could do.
Nothing else she could have done to make that money up.
No, you can't make the money up, and you can't during that time. Women were not entitled to keep their children if the husbands came.
And if she couldn't afford the children, they would have taken them away.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
Talk about a heartbreaking situation. But
absolutely. But there's people like this. I mean, who cares if she was Charlie or Charlotte? No. She just was an amazing person. So, so she actually was a woman who was a man, posed as a man.
Which was
able to get through.
She had an adventurous life, and it sounds like a very successful one.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like she had a very big heart. So for the end of our Women's History Month, that was a perfect pick, I think.
Perfect.
Yes.
I think so too. I always love the story. Like I said, if you ever get a chance to see Linda Clark perform as Hard Luck Lynn, as she calls her, which I guess was her nickname, You should. She's
Yeah.
just amazing because she slips right into the character.
Wow.
And there are times where she'll bring out photographs of Victorian photographs of infants, and she'll ask the children in the crowd. I don't know if she can do this anymore, but she did used to ask them, do you think this is a boy or if is this a girl?
Oh.
Because they would all have the same christening dresses on. And who
Yeah.
knew? Nobody knew.
No.
So,
Man.
yeah, but beyond that, she has fascinating information as well. So
That sounds like a great thing to do in the Mother Lode. So we have
Yeah.
to check out and see if she's doing anything soon and talk about
yeah,
our show.
probably in the summer. She does
Yeah.
a lot of stuff with the Forest Service
And that's right
and the
around
parks. Yeah, just
right around
the corner.
Oh
yeah,
man,
for sure.
time is just going by so fast.
Absolutely.
So we are going to be talking about March 25th through March 31st. So this is the week. We've just gotten done with St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, which
was a lot of green and a
lots
lot of
a lot
fun.
of people. A lot of people. Murphy's was packed.
Was it? I didn't
Yeah.
make it up to Murphy's.
Murphy's was packed gill to gill.
So was Dandelions Days. It was
good.
a lot of
Yeah.
people out and about, which is always good to see. Like
Yeah,
it seems
it
like
is.
everything is waking back up.
Yeah, people are getting out, enjoying themselves. Yeah, it's actually it's a really good time right now. Yeah.
So we have quite a few events coming on, and especially, why don't we start with flowers, since we just got done talking about those.
Flowers.
We
yes.
do have Gardening 101 starting this weekend, and it's an online class. It's from 9 to 11:45 p.m., so it's all day on Facebook, and it is put through by the Master Gardeners of Amador County. So you could just hop on Facebook and find them and join this class or workshop. And it is from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., but I think they have the information all the way up until the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much any kind of question that you can learn. It's 101, the basics. So
And the
spring's
master
here.
gardeners are like the best people to learn
They are.
from. They know everything.
Oh man, they really do.
They're like crazy knowledgeable.
You know? And I know we're all itching most people already have their gardens planted and
Yeah, they're
it's
getting
going.
out there and
So,
doing
it's
their
perfect
thing.
time.
It's a great time, and you can ask them anything,
Mm-hmm.
like literally anything, and they will either have the answer or get it for you.
Which is perfect because there's a lot to know, like your
There
zone, your soil type, how much a flower or a plant should water. I mean, they're
Exactly.
So temperamental.
Yeah.
So this would be a great
Sun,
class.
Shade, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Absolutely.
And that is this
sure.
weekend on Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. It's Gardening 101. So check it out. You can find it on Facebook. And then we have Little League.
Little League.
Little League. So
Oh, that's
sports
starting.
are starting this weekend. And so check out your local Little League because I do know games are happening. So softball,
starting.
baseball, which is, getting out in the community. And most of them this weekend is opening ceremonies. So you can see the parades,
Oh, that's
have
awesome.
dinner and snack bars, all that fun stuff. And get your baseball gear out and about. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Which I can't wait because baseball season's a lot of fun. My son is playing baseball and my daughter
is he?
plays softball, so we're
Goodness.
always bouncing
Wow. So
around
you're
games,
like, go here, go there,
which
go
is always a
there.
lot of fun.
Oh.
And then after you get done watching some baseball and you're hungry, they are having the crab feed, which is the annual Berry Young crab feed and shrimp feed, which we talked about last weekend to get your tickets. So hopefully they're not sold out. And it is this weekend in McCollum Hill. Tickets are around $55-$60. And it is at the town hall. And it is through the Veterans Memorial District. It puts on the event.
It benefits the Veterans Memorial District. Now, I know that they actually redid. This is not very sexy, but they redid the bathrooms in Shutter Tree Park, which is in Moke Hill. So they're ADA compliant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they did that, I believe it was last year. And the Calaveras Community Foundation actually helped them with some grant money for it. And then they got all volunteers, and it was such a community effort. It's wonderful. And so
And
you
that's
have
much needed.
someplace you can use the toilet. Although there are restrooms at the town hall, I believe.
We all have to go.
Yeah, exactly. But you can, take a walk. When you're done eating, you can walk down the street
And it's
enjoy Moke Hill. It's such a cute little town.
And like we said before, it's like walking through time.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know. Yeah. I love the fact that we still live in buildings that are from the 1800s. It's just one of those things that you just can't, I don't know.
Yeah, you can sense the history in them, right?
Yeah.
You can feel it. Yeah,
but
for
also happening in the Tuolumne Hill is the winery. Renegade Winery has the Sunday afternoon live music, food, fun for the family.
They've got a great patio area. It's so fun just to go out there and relax and enjoy the time. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not sure what band they have this Sunday, but they do have a band this Friday from 4 to 7, and it's Teal's Wheels, and it is a 3-hour music. So they're going to play from 4 to 7.
Yep.
And they are going to be playing popular cover songs. So yeah, come out and have a glass of wine, enjoy some dancing, enjoy this beautiful spring weather in the Tuolumne Hill. So yeah, pretty excited.
Yeah, and there's tons of music happening this weekend.
Oh, there really is.
It's like starting to burst forth.
Oh, man. It's so many.
Just like the daffodils. Yeah. There's
crazy.
so much. I mean, going from Moke Hill up to Bear Valley, you can actually see the Nathan Band, who he's an amazingly talented musician up here in the Mother Lode. And you can see him at Sky High at Bear Valley from 5 to 8 p.m. So if you want to go to the high country, it's a little cooler up there.
I bet there's still a little bit of snow.
But yeah, probably a little bit of snow.
So you can kind of get both the best worlds. A little bit of winter still, a little bit of spring.
Yeah.
Because that won't be there that much longer.
No, not at all.
So yeah.
It'll melt off pretty quickly here.
And then speaking of more music, we have the Buckford at the Sutter Creek Theater this Friday from 8 to 10. And it's country music. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun in the theater, which is, again, another building.
Yeah, which is really awesome.
So it's like step back in time and enjoy some music.
Yep. And then over in Avery at Howard's Mystic Saloon, they are on Saturday, March 26th at 8:30. They are having the David Moore Band, which is a bluesy rock sort of hybrid mixture.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
So if you want to go out and move and have some fun, go on up there. And they may actually have the most unique interior of a saloon in the Mother Lode.
I haven't been up there. I'm going to have to check this out now.
Yeah, we have some really historic ones, right, which they not play into, but they really highlight the historic aspects of our community, right? So, but this one is kind of a rock and roll, gothic, skeleton.
I love it already.
Bones type of vibe in there. So totally different from up here. You'd think you'd see it like in San Francisco.
Which is nice to get those little differences from here and there. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to go check it out.
I think you would really like it.
I probably would.
And they seem to be always full.
Well, I bet.
A lot of fun up there.
Nice. And what day was the band on?
They are Saturday, March 26th.
Perfect.
So 8:30 p.m. they go on.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
And then I also have Triple Threat. It's going to be live at the Elks Lodge in Jackson. And they are going to be this Friday at 7 p.m. So if you want to come hang out, it's a live blues and rock and roll. So come have a drink and enjoy some dancing and some great music at the Elks Lodge this Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of music.
Lots to choose from. I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's just going to get more and more and more. And again, if you do have an event with music or a band, let us know, because I do know that we're not even touching the surface right now.
Yeah, we're just scratching
so
the surface.
So let us know, because we will definitely talk about it and might even show up, because
you never know.
Good things.
There's a lot of stuff happening for sure. And then obviously we are a huge wine region. Are we going to the wine region now?
Wine.
It's started.
Shenandoah Valley.
Shenandoah Valley is going to be gorgeous when all those flowers come out.
Goodness.
Oh,
I'm so
beautiful.
excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
And you don't want to ever miss the Amador Flower Farm, no matter what season it is, right?
Yeah, because
head
they
out
have
there
everything.
spring, summer, fall, winter.
And it's beautiful just to walk around. I mean, it's a huge nursery, and you can just bring a picnic. They have some beautiful trees you can sit under.
It's just beautiful out there.
It's just absolutely wonderful.
And they don't
to drive.
mind you wandering around. They're like Ironstone Vineyards. Ironstone is another one, right? The gardens are immaculately kept. They're absolutely gorgeous. And you can just go out and take your daily constitutional, as they used to say in the Victorian times. But, take a walk out there, and nobody's going to bother you. They open it to the community members, and it's just wonderful.
Which is nice because, I mean, you do need that, like, kind of touch with nature every once in a while. And especially as spring comes on and new beginnings and, I don't know, things are waking back up. It's kind of nice to be just out and about.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of spring, we do have spring up in the hills this
that's right.
This Saturday. Yeah, in Copperopolis at the Armory. And it is a festival. So they have art, food, games, vendors, live music. There's bouncy houses for your kids. So,
oh, wow. So it's like a family affair.
Yeah, a whole family affair. Cool. And then we also have, for the adults, we got our wine.
Yeah, wine again. We definitely have a great association with wine in our counties.
We do,
right?
yeah.
There's history, huge history back to the gold rush. We could go into that maybe for another day. And then obviously until now, when we had the wine renaissance up here in the 70s and going through up until now, and now it's really flourishing.
It really
and people are really discovering our area.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's right up there with Napa at this point. Like if you mention Napa, then most people know Canada.
Calaveras,
Amador.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, our wine is pretty spectacular.
It is.
And if you do want to get out and taste some of our wine, they have the Behind the Cellar Door event happening this Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So it starts at 10:30 on Saturday and it goes all the way until Sunday at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So
and that's actually put on by the Amador Vintners Association.
Very cool.
And you can contact them at director@amadorwine.com.
Because you need tickets to do it, right?
You do need tickets. And for a Saturday, Sunday passport, it is $95. Saturday only is $65 and Sunday only is $65. But if you're a designated driver, it's only $20.
Okay.
So you don't taste the wine, but you get to have
sample all the other stuff. Yeah. And it looks like if you are going to do it, there are no day of ticket sales. So if you are planning to go, make sure you get your tickets ahead of time because you can't show up without them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday in Amador.
For sure.
So, and then also on, for your pups, and we brought this up before. They are, we have the rabies vaccine and microchip drive-through clinic, and we are a little bit ahead on this one.
Yeah, we are.
But with it being
it was so busy last time, it was crazy.
So we want to make sure everyone knows, especially if you guys got your little puppies and your kitties who need to be updated on these things. It is April 9th, and we're going to probably keep bringing this up until the day, and they have other ones throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep bringing these up, so if you do miss this one, you can always catch another one later. But it's Saturday, April 9th, from 9 to 12 p.m.
Yep.
And it is over here at the Government Center.
Yes,
in
the
San Andreas
County, Government Center. But last time they were parked out on Mountain Ranch Road.
Oh, really?
Which was just crazy.
Wow, so get there early or get there a little bit late.
Yeah, one or the other. I don't know. But, they got everybody through, and it was a very well-run, apparently, and amazing event.
Well, yeah.
So,
and everybody, I mean, if you live in the country, most people have some kind of form of a pet.
They do.
So it's a really cool community thing, outreach.
Yeah.
The offer for people.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, all dogs need their rabies shots. And
yeah, they do.
Microchips are always good when you lose them. So.
Absolutely.
So for you seniors, the Amador Senior Center is doing a hula dancing for seniors.
Oh, wow.
And it is, or hula for seniors. I don't know if it's dance. Hula, yeah, it's
It
hula
would be
lessons.
dancing,
So I'm like hula
Hula, is it
yeah.
hula watching? Hula.
I'm like,
What
wait
is
a minute, is it like a, are we doing Hawaiian buffet?
Yeah.
No, these are
Aloha.
lessons.
Yeah.
And so it is from Tuesdays from 2 to 3 p.m. and drop-ins are welcome, and it's $1 donation per class.
Oh, wow.
So you can't beat that. And it's at the Amador Senior Center. So, and I mean, how cool is that? Get
That's
your
really
hips
cool.
moving. Kind of, getting the vibe with spring. Summer is right around the corner.
So you keep moving. You're preparing.
And, and you're preparing, because I do know that in summertime in Amador City there is music in the park. Music in the park is in Jackson, and then dancing in the street is in Amador
Oh,
City.
dancing
So
in
get
the
a little bit ready
That's
for those.
That's right. And also,
preparing
there's,
ahead.
There's the music in the parks in Calaveras County every Wednesday night during the summer. There's all sorts of music events. So
Exactly. So dance lessons is
it's
kind of a good thing to have.
It's a good thing. And actually, talking about line dancing, talking about dancing lessons at the newly opened Miners Lounge in Angels Camp, I know a lot of people that were going by for years, years and years, have been wondering when this lounge is going to open. And it's underneath the Utica Hotel.
Oh, that's
kind of
cool.
underneath, kind of feels like it has a speakeasy vibe. But
Again, walking back in time.
Exactly. But no telephone, right? You don't have to call in to get let in. But they have free line dancing lessons every Thursday night from 5 to 7 p.m.
I've always wanted to learn line dancing, because whenever you do go, and everyone, like, people who line dance, they know it. They have it down pat. And if you try to join in,
I'm
like I'm that person who's spinning the wrong way, watching the other person trip in the line, domino effect.
Smacking into somebody else. I understand that feeling.
Is so cool that they're offering free line dancing.
Yeah, and apparently they're a lot of fun.
Well, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun. So, and so again, music is everywhere, so might as well
dance.
Yeah, exactly. So, calling all of you artists, the art show, Calaveras Gold, the deadline is April 11th through 17th. So if you are planning to submit, I would start working on your art projects. And it is, so the art is due in gallery from April 11th through the 15th. And the show is from April 18th through the May 31st. So I would take a look at that if you are curious in having your art submitted. And that is with the Calaveras County Arts Council. So,
which will be very, very cool.
So and we have so many artists in this community that it's
amazing.
It's amazing. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, it just blows my mind every time that we get out and about, and you're like, someone local made that?
There's so many talented people. And remember, at the Calaveras County Arts Council, the Art Spirit gallery show will be starting on April 4th.
Very cool.
So to put that on your calendar, that's a show that is for all of the high school students in Calaveras County.
Which is fantastic, because
so it shows off their art. People can buy it if they
which
want
is
it,
really
which
cool.
is really
Support
cool.
your young local artists.
So make sure you put that date. That's actually the awards reception, and then the show goes on from there. But it's a really
that's
good. It's
really
awesome.
fun.
And
then speaking of another art show for high school, they have the 27th annual high school art show in Amador for the high school students.
Oh, cool.
And it's put by Amador Arts Council also, and it goes this weekend, and I think it goes until a little bit into May. Until April. So you have a little bit of time to check that out. And they have it. Let me pull up the spot, because I have to click on this, you guys. We're very technical here. So this is going to be, so it goes in, this weekend is the last, so Saturday, March 26th is the last day that's going to be showing.
Okay.
So if you do want to check out the Amador Arts high school work, it is, check it out this weekend.
To do it, for sure. For sure.
And it's at the Amador Senior Center.
Okay.
So so if you are curious to take a look at our local young artists.
Yes, and they're very talented. There's some that are extremely talented.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Absolutely amazing. It blows me out of the water just thinking.
What some of these young people can do, how talented they are in multiple disciplines, it's just mind-blowing. It really is.
You would expect a very mature, aged artist to be creating some of these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you see them and you're like,
wow,
yeah, exactly. Like, I wish I had a touch of your talent.
Exactly.
You're just going to grow even more. And speaking of growing as an artist, they do have the art labs on Fridays. So Friday, March 25th from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And it's a great place to go and mingle and get some ideas and start working on your art. And they do have it branched out into different age categories.
Yes.
So which is kind of cool. And this is also at the Amador Senior Center. And so they have so they meet at 9 a.m. And then for adults, they have a 2 o'clock to 4. And for families, it's from 4 to 6 for teens. Okay. So you can kind of branch out to who you kind of want to mingle with, which is nice.
Which is nice, because then you get to know new people.
Yes,
right?
exactly. And if you have
an age group,
and if you have a family, you know the other families.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely.
So, which is always good to know.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have all of our museums, which we kind of based off talked about that last time. So the Sierra Nevada Logging Museum is up and running. We have the Historical Kennedy Gold Mine Tours are up and running again.
Those are up and running. The Preston Castle Tours are up and running. The Angels Camp Museum, which is way more than what you just see from Highway 49. I think they have 3 acres back there, which you wouldn't even believe. I think it's 3 acres. Contact us and tell me if I'm wrong. But I believe it's 3 acres, and you wouldn't even believe it, because you just see the little white building and that's it. But that's a really nice museum.
Which is really cool.
And then the San Andreas Museum here in San Andreas as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So get out and take a look at some of our museums, because everything's opening up. And speaking of things opening up, I haven't looked at it, but it just popped in my head, is we have all those caverns around here. So I'm curious if the tours are opening up.
I believe they are.
And so that would be another thing to do in the Mother Lode.
That's right.
To kind of get underground.
That's really, really unique.
I like to go to the caverns when it's blazing hot.
Yeah, because it's always the same temperature.
Yes, you go down below and you're like, I'm just going to bring a lawn chair.
Yes,
Come get me after 4 or 5 tours. You can just keep the light on, because it gets so dark.
It does.
It gets way too dark in there.
If you want to know what blackness is, darkness is, you go into those caverns and you'll find out really quickly.
As a kid, I mean, my dad would take us down on these tours, because he was very much loved everything that offered. And I remember going down there, and every time they turned the light down, I would have this fear of like being left, like someone being
like somebody would leave you.
And you're like, how do you even get out of there? And as an adult, it still happens. Because you're like, there's no way out. There's no way out.
There's no way out.
But we're not trying to scare you. It's still an amazing experience.
Yeah. They do have steps.
And they have a whole bunch it's not just even the caverns anymore. They have a lot of outside
they do
events
a lot of outside events, a lot of like gold panning and things to do outdoors as well.
Obstacle courses, I think, and some rappelling.
The rappelling, Monin Caverns has the rappelling. So there's a lot to do in a lot of the caverns here. So
and we'll have to find out dates and times, because we don't have those yet.
We don't have those for you, but
we
can
will
always look them up.
We also have in Amador, the Amador County Library is presenting the Spring 2022 used book sale from March 25th to the 27th. So you come check out the library and buy a book or two, and there you go. You got yourselves a whole weekend.
I imagine it supports their foundation too. So then you're supporting the library.
Which is
when you're buying books.
Great cause. Oh man, I remember getting so many books as kids, as an adult too. Like, it's so nice to be able to, like, I'm not spending $20 on a book, and I can return it and then get it again.
Yeah, library. The libraries are such amazing resources, and they're not the same as they used to be, right? They're not just about books anymore. You can rent DVDs. You can rent
that. You have created a show.
A
What's
show,
the
yes,
library?
to talk about the online resources actually at the library. And the first program is just an overview program about all the cool stuff you can actually access
Which is cool.
for free using your library card. So job training, exercise programs, just furthering your education. If you just want to learn anything, I mean, it's amazing what's out there, and it's all for free.
Which is always a good price.
Exactly. It's a great price. It's a great price. Yeah.
And it's a great resource.
Absolutely.
And you also have, starting this Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to be going out and filming the children's story time at the Calaveras and Sarah Lunsford Library.
So sweet. It's
yeah,
so sweet.
So that'll be really
cool.
So
can children go to the story time?
Yes, it's open to the public. I believe they start at 10:30. It lasts about half an hour.
Which is always a really cool, fun event, especially for little kids.
Yeah.
Because they get to sit in their groups and they get to listen to the story.
Yeah.
And then when you want to break mommy or daddy, you put them and watch it on our TV station.
Exactly.
So there we go. And then they can see themselves on it.
That's true. That is true.
It's a double.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So watch out for that coming up next week on our schedule. So that we actually have a few new programs that are coming up this coming week, but we'll talk about that a little bit later when we do our wrap up. But we have a really cool event actually happening in Bear Valley, which is the 7th annual Nikolay Dodoff slopestyle competition.
Ooh.
And there's, again, live music on the sun deck up there.
And then get your hula dancing in, your line dancing,
exactly,
and then
get some skiing
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
Yeah. So slopestyle competition up there in Bear Valley. So
Nice.
if you're into that,
And
it's very cool.
And that's this week, or this Saturday or Sunday?
This Saturday,
Very fun.
March 26th, and then March 26th.
Very fun.
So that should be very cool. And then also the Crafty Chick Show is happening.
Nice.
And it's an open house in Angels Camp. And she does, I've forgotten her name right now. I'm sure that's not a great thing. But she's Julie Davis, I think her name is. But Julie is her Julie Douglas, that's it.
You got it.
Douglas, I think. Hopefully I didn't get that wrong. But she has done an amazing thing for our community. She does the Crafty Chick Road shows at the fairgrounds. I think it's at least 2 or 3 times a year, which is like, and she supports local vendors.
Oh, that's
right?
fun.
She really wants the local people to come in and sell their honey and sell their soaps.
Oh, cool.
And then she has the Crafty Chicks shop.
Say that 10 times
I know. Yeah, in downtown Angels Camp, in historic Angels Camp. And she stocks a lot of those local artisans and local creators in her shop.
That's so cool.
Anytime you have a chance to go in there, she just has really unique items.
Which
really
makes
high
sense because
quality
where
as
else
well.
are you going to get them? It's one of those things.
Exactly.
So, yeah, because and we have so many people who are so talented in so many things.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
wow.
So, yeah, so she's actually having an open house from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. At her shop.
Nice.
In Angels. So
What day was that?
That is on Saturday.
Very cool.
That is on Saturday. So
Nice. And then if you guys have any younger children, the Amador Junior Buffalo Football and Cheerlead leader,
yep.
the registration's this weekend. So if you are curious in getting your children into some football and cheerleading, that has to be done this weekend in Amador. So. And then I think so we also have the Calaveras Gem and Mineral Society Rock Jewelry and Mineral Sale.
Yeah.
And that is this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. In Angels Camp. And it looks like I'm pulling it up right now. So, and it looks like they're going to have rocks, jewelry, their art.
So it's a
whole
super
cool
interesting.
thing.
Yeah. And people will just talk about their rocks. Well, their crystals,
if you
actually,
think
and
about
gems as well. But everything's a rock.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if we look at where we came from, the gold mining, and so it's one of those things where it's
super interesting. Yeah.
And I mean, some of that stuff is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we have Mother's Initiative for Africa, which is a fundraising lunch. on March 26th at 1 p.m. And it's put on by the Rotary Club and Passport to Amador, and it is for, what is it? It's in Fiddletown, and it is for, hold on. Oh, it's in Africa.
Uganda.
There we go, Uganda. I was like gonna butcher it, and I was like, I could feel like, yeah, I'm like, oh man. So it is for Uganda, and it is a fundraiser, and it's in Fiddletown, and it's $40 per person. There's an auction, a silent auction, and it's a great cause.
Yep.
So yeah.
And also on Saturday night back in Calaveras County at, I believe it's the Metropolitan in San Andreas. It is the Calaveras County Chamber of Commerce is having their annual installation and awards dinner.
Nice.
So that is very cool. If you own a business or frequent a business, it's just kind of fun to go and see all the local business owners and see what awards they win. It's always a really good time. So I believe there are tickets still available, and you can buy them at calaveras.org, which doesn't quite look right, but type in Calaveras County Chamber of Commerce, which actually I'm going to do right now, so I can give you the exact information. It is Calaveras Talk. Wow, you know what? They must have hopped on that name so quickly.
Yeah, because you think that would have been taken up quick, super fast.
Yeah, the URLs were released in the mid-90s. All of the URLs were released in the mid-90s, so they must have hopped on that so fast. That's why I had to double check, because I actually worked for a company in Silicon Valley where we actually got names, the URLs.
Oh, that would make sense.
You can do it online now, but at that time, you actually had to have someone go and request it.
Oh, talk about times changing.
Yeah, they would put in a paper request.
Wow.
And you wouldn't know for, 48 or 72 hours whether you got your URL.
Yeah, nowadays it's like you type it in, it's like someone already has it, pick a different one.
Yeah, totally dating myself now. Yeah, that's why I totally had to check that, because I was like, wow, that's amazing. Anyway, calaveras.org, check that out. And if you are a small business, check out their membership rates. They have amazing events and business resources and all sorts of stuff that you can take advantage of.
Nice.
So, give them a look for sure.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then in Ione, they have the Ione's Veterans, or Vietnam Veterans Memorial Day commemoration, and it's on March 27th from 1 p.m. in Ione, California. So go
That's
check
the
that out.
Memorial District, or a memorial. There's a memorial in Ione. If you've never seen it, you should.
Oh, it's
Veterans
beautiful.
Memorial. It's beautiful. Yeah.
It's as you turn towards the castle.
Yes.
It's right there.
Absolutely.
Beautiful little park area. And it looks like there will be barbecue lunch and before the ceremony. And it's at the VFW Hall on
Which is
Sutter
just right
Street
there.
in Ione.
Yeah.
Or Amador Street in Ione.
And Ione is another one of those little towns that's
It really
so
is.
cute.
It's so cute, and especially as people have given more of the buildings more love and attention.
Yes, absolutely.
It's really just a quaint little area to be in.
It is.
So, and then the Amador County concert band presents the March Musical Madness, and it's a free concert. And it is on Sunday, March 27th at 3 p.m. And it will be held at the Community Church of Pine Grove.
Okay.
And so the doors opens at 2:30.
Wow.
So yeah, not too bad.
More music.
I know.
More music.
And then we have dog therapy sessions at the Amador Senior Center, second and fourth Mondays every month.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you want to come and get a little love on from a little pooch, so at 3:30 p.m.
That's a great idea.
I know, because there's something
There's something, and they say, the purr of a cat actually, if it heals, it can heal
I've heard
bones,
this.
it can heal tissue. It's really interesting, these studies they're coming up with now, not only for dogs, because I think for dogs they've always done a lot of studies, but now for cats, who've, a lot of people, what they say, only 10% of the population likes cats or something.
Really?
Which is bizarre to me.
I'm a dog and a cat person. Like, people are like one or the other. I'm like, no, I like them both. I think I'll take in any kind of animal though, except snakes. I can't do snakes. I can't do snakes. Snakes.
Yeah, we're cat people in my household. We're cat people. But yeah, it's interesting to see all the studies that they're coming out with cats. And I just read one recently that the reason why people have a negative connotation with cats and not with dogs is that dogs, their facial muscles can move with their emotions. And with cats, they literally can't move. They don't have the physiology.
Either they look very happy or they always look mad.
Yeah, they're like, don't come near me. Yeah. And they say that cats actually have the same range of feelings of attachment as dogs.
Which would make sense.
Irritation.
They're people.
Exactly, but you can't tell because their muscles can't move.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
It was fascinating, yeah.
Yeah, my dad was, every time he would ask, you know what the difference is between a cat and a dog?
Uh-oh. Do I dare to ask what?
With a dog, you're part of the family. With a cat, you're part of the
servant. Part of the staff.
Part of the staff, yes. I was like, oh, man.
Which is kind of true.
It really is. If you want to get out and about, ACRA presents the Amador Walkers and Joggers Club. So if you are looking to kind of get your body moving, they have it they're going to have it through the end of March and into May 5th, and it's going to be every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And they meet in Amador City in the parking lot across from the old bakery, and they walk for an hour, which is a pretty cool group to get involved with and mingle with other people, because sometimes it's hard to get out and about and meet other people.
Yeah.
And these are kind of nice because it kind of gets you with a group of like-minded
people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think there are a couple of those in Tuolumne and Amador County as well.
Very cool.
But I'm not finding them right now. This is actually...
So yeah, and a lot of what we're finding is on Facebook, and so if you do your own research, you can definitely find some more.
Yeah, exactly. They're out there, and some of them have Instagram accounts and the whole thing. So it just takes a little bit of digging.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and sometimes, and that's what we're here for, is to do most of the digging, but sometimes we miss something.
Sometimes we miss things. Because there is the thing is that there's literally so much.
There really is. It goes on, and it seems like it's always updated, of course.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, but it does seem like we're just barely scratching the surface because there's so much offered in our community.
In our area. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So. And then there was one more event, actually, probably more than one, but we wanted to remind you of it, is the Calaveras Community Blood Drive, actually on Tuesday, March 29th from 1 to 6 o'clock at the San Andreas Town Hall. And again, it's the Calaveras Community Foundation that actually supports that.
Nice.
They sponsor it. And then it's the company Vitalent who actually draws the blood and does all of that. Yeah, so.
Which is cool. And they say to bring an ID, eat well, and drink plenty of water prior to donating. And you have to be in 16 years require a parent consent form. So, which, I mean, to tell you the truth, you just don't know when you or your family members will need blood. Absolutely. At some point. The emergencies happen. So these blood drives are so important.
Super important.
So, and you can also make an appointment if you want at the
Vitalent website.
So,
yeah. Okay.
I think we're
pretty done. The rest of the things we're looking at are actually going into April. We want to save a few things for you, but there's a lot in April because we're coming up on Easter,
so many,
spring break.
Which is crazy because I still can't believe that's right around the corner. I did find another one. They have the Amador Camp, Angels Camp Walk for Life is happening on the 26th from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. In Angels Camp. So that is going on. And then everything else looks like it's in April. And then we have the Tri-County LGBT Alliance welcomes you to our spring mixer.
Yeah.
And that is in Murphy's, California.
At Moda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
On
just
March,
at the end of town.
Nice. Mm-hmm. On March 27th from 4 to 7 p.m. So if you wanted to come find a community, there's going to be games, friends, wine. So it's a little spring mixer, which is perfect because beautiful weather. So,
For
and
sure,
you can find more
spring.
details on this on Facebook.
Yeah.
So just look up the Tri-County LGBT Alliance. Mm-hmm. And I think that might be all I have.
Let me just...
And of course there's live music in Murphy's.
Yeah,
A whole bunch of live music.
Yeah, they're like the live music royalty of the Mother Lode. So, one place you can go to see like a lot of things to do, and they do actually have great itineraries too, is actually the Calaveras Visitors Bureau. And that's at gocalaveras.com. They actually have maps that you can use.
Oh, I didn't even scroll down that far. I just went to their calendar and found information, but that's really fun.
Yeah, they have, they have articles on the different things that you can do, but they actually have itineraries and maps that you can download and
wow, that's
check
really
out.
interactive.
Yeah, it is. They do a really fabulous job, and so that's what actually I was kind of looking at. There it is, the Plan Your Trip.
Oh, cool.
And there's these suggested itineraries where it's the summer, the spring, kid-family vacations, dog-friendly, because there's so much that's dog-friendly that you wouldn't even think about it unless you
Until
have a dog.
you look it up on gocalaveras.com.
Yeah, and then it breaks it down into the cities and that type of thing as well.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And I believe that in Tuolumne they have a similar type of thing, and I believe in Amador they do as well, because Amador County has a really good Visitors Bureau, and so does Tuolumne.
Which is, it's a must, especially if you're coming to visit. And sometimes you find some really hidden gems when you've lived there your whole life.
You don't even
You're
realize
like, I had
there.
no idea. Or it's one of those things where you knew about it, but it just kind of gets put on the back burner until you see it on the website, and you're like, I want to do that.
I didn't even know that was there. And so actually, this is a cool one, right? So, and I've never seen this one before. It's new, Tuolumne County Craft Beverage Trail.
What? That's awesome.
Which is sip your way from Sonora to Yosemite on the Tuolumne County Craft Beverage Trail. Visit all 9 locations to win a free t-shirt.
So what, did they give you like a little map?
You must have a stamp or something.
A map, yeah, and it's probably like
we're discovering this with you.
This is awesome.
There's it must be on their app. It's a mobile exclusive. And, it says no apps to download, but it's a texting. It's through your phone. I should hold up my phone.
That is brilliant. Talk about digital age
and you can
intertwining
get your pass.
with entertainment.
Yeah. And that goes on until November 30th, 2022.
And you can win a free branded t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
How
which
cool
is
that?
So for every 3 check-ins you do on social media, which I would imagine would be Facebook, Instagram.
Which would make sense because you're letting people know where you're at and having fun doing this and letting people know about the community, and it's a great outreach.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
It's brilliant. Absolutely
and
brilliant.
It's just through the text, and then you just redeem what you want. So I didn't even realize the craft brewery scene was so big in Tuolumne. Look at all these.
It's crazy. My brother, he crafts his own beer. And so, he was telling me how big of a community.
Oh, it's a huge community.
So huge. And it just blows my mind. And it's so there's so much chemistry to it, and a lot of tasting, which is a lot of fun.
A lot of tasting. Actually, I think it's up in Arnold. There is a what I call spirits tasting. It's called Hinterhouse, and they do flights of vodka, or I believe whiskey is what they do too. Nice. So you can go and there are these drinks taste different.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just mixers with, you know, to put into other drinks or, you know, to mix your drink, your highball or whatever you do. But yeah, there's all these types of really cool types of things that you can do now in our area, which you weren't able to do maybe 8 years ago.
No, and especially with the digital world connecting everybody.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it really, COVID had a lot of downsides, but to tell you the truth, there's a lot of connecting through social media and through the websites that we didn't have before. We did, it just wasn't well versed with it.
Yeah.
And I think that opened up a lot of these doors and opportunities.
For sure.
And especially with people waking back up and getting out there, there's so much to do.
So much to do. Yeah, absolutely. So we just went on that little rabbit trail.
Which is always fun.
Which is cool. So we did want to touch on this week, actually, the Calaveras Community Public Access Television Studio, which we actually film from, and our shows are shown on Community Access. So obviously you're watching us on Community Access or YouTube, or possibly listening to us on the Calaveras Community TV podcast. But every week, pretty much every week, we have community producers turning in new programs that you can watch, new programs which are just really cool, and they reflect our community.
Yep.
So we just wanted to touch on this coming Friday, which is when our schedule starts, some of the programs that you can see on Calaveras Community Television, CalTel, and Volcanovision, because we broadcast in all of those through all of those distributors. Yeah. So.
And it's really fun, especially there is a program that I'm super, super excited about, and it's a youth program, and it is through the education,
Calaveras
County
Office of Education.
And it's the
There's another mouthful for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the science fair is so cool. Yeah.
And it's so neat to see these kids succeed, and then to have that, I don't know, they can go back and watch it and show their families and friends and they just to root them on.
Yeah, they explain their science fair submissions and how they work and what they do, and yeah, it's very, very cool. So that starts this coming week. And then also John Hamilton from the Pine Tree, he also hosts our Inside View show. He actually went out and filmed Murphy's Irish Days.
Which is really cool, because if you were there, you'll see yourself on TV.
Yes. For sure. Somewhere in that maddening crowd, yeah.
A lot of green, but you just gotta find,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And it's a really fun program to watch and to kind of just relive. And we do re-air them later in the future.
Yes.
So if you do want to check it out when it gets closer to these events in the future, but it's always nice to have that memory.
Yeah, absolutely.
And come back to
there's nothing quite like video.
No, there really isn't,
You know.
Especially finding yourself 5-10 years later.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute.
Maybe we don't want those videos, but yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so there are a few different shows, brand new shows we have almost every single scheduling week. So make sure you look out for those. We post the schedule on Friday mornings on our Facebook page. It's on our website, county website, and our Facebook page. So, and it's also in the Calaveras Enterprise as well.
Which is,
Yeah.
So you just gotta find us.
You can find us.
And then if you have an event that you would like us to talk about, please email us or reach out to us on Facebook.
Yep.
We would love to support anyone in our community to let everybody know about what's going on in the Mother Lode.
For sure, for sure. So, anyway, I think that's about it for
that's
today.
it.
Yes, that's a lot, but we'll have a whole lot more for you next week.
Yeah, because
It's coming up April.
April is going to be full.
Ooh,
And as the
very
weather
full.
gets really nice and toasty, it's going to get more and
It'll
more
get
things
more
out
and
and
more
about.
things to do. So,
Alrighty.
yeah, well, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.